So here we are, approaching the end of a 30-plus hour round-trip unsuccessfully hunting for Edward Snowden. It started in Moscow at the departure lounge, where there was a lot of journalists, a lot of security, and a lot of expectation. There was a very strong belief among dozens of Russian and international journalists that Snowden was going to take that flight to Havana. Some said their sources had confirmed it, and it kind of made sense. On board, the search for Snowden began immediately. Was he already there? Would he board last? Would he be separated from everyone else in some secure part of the aircraft? Some journalists were tweeting they'd seen a VIP car alongside the plane. But we realised pretty quickly he wasn't on board yet, and so we waited as the clock counted down to the scheduled takeoff time.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain speaking.
Then the door closed and we started moving. Even as we were taxiing, I stayed on the phone with our headquarters in Atlanta, ready to pass on any news before we took off. We thought it was still possible Snowden would board the plane somewhere on the tarmac. He didn't, and we took off without him. So we committed to a 12-hour-plus flight that was essentially a waste of time. Very frustrating. According to some reporting, he and his WikiLeaks companion were supposed to be sitting in row 17. Those seats were empty, and they became a bit of a focal point for disgruntled journalists who, like us, had gambled and lost. And so Cuba. It's my first time. I didn't have a visa, so I had to stay in transit. It wasn't the authentic Cuban travel experience I'd long dreamed of. We tried some random Snowden hunting. Have you seen Edward Snowden? No? No? Okay. Hello, Cuba. Goodbye, Cuba. We've been on the ground here in Havana for about an hour, and we've spent most of that time trying to negotiate our way back onto a very quick return flight back to Moscow, but we think we've done it. And so now back to Russia, where we think Snowden still is. He could be in transit at the airport still. He could be on the diplomatic territory of another country. But the governments that almost certainly know where he is, like Russia and Ecuador, they're not saying. So that vacuum is still being filled with speculation, which means in truth, everyone is just guessing.